One of the 6 people arrested in an Omaha sex trafficking investigation ordered to spend a decade behind bars. Kavankumar Patel was sentenced in federal court this week. Earlier this year, he pled guilty to 2 counts of sex trafficking of a minor. Patel worked at the AmericInn Hotel. This is South 15th and Spring Street. Prosecutors say he admitted to using money from the hotel till to pay traffickers to have sex with a minor at that hotel. The FBI says Patel, who's from India, is illegally in the U.S. and faces deportation after serving that prison sentence. Patel is the first person in this case to be sentenced. The other cases are still making their way through the courts. First Alert 6 learned in March the now vacant hotel at the center of this investigation was in the process of being sold. We'll let you know when we learn more about the future of that property.